If Pokopia can make a new Rotom, then I can make a new Rotom. Rotom is a silly guy, that's all you need to know, but chances are you've already heard about it before. When I was a kid, I used to think Rotom was a legendary Pokemon. Keep in mind, I did not have access to any of the DS games growing up, so my knowledge of Gen 4 plus Pokemon was entirely based on what I saw on Psypoke, and Rotom was with all of the other legendaries in the Pokedex, so it just made sense to me. Rotom has various forms, and most recently we got the Stereo form, which is not a sound type, but rather a normal type. It's kind of strange considering no other special Pokopia Pokemon got additional types, so it leads me to believe Stereo Rotom could be in the core series sometime soon. And if that's the case, then I have more ideas for Rotom forms. So fasten your seatbelts, subscribe to my channel, and let's draw some Rotom. Okay, so first we need our lineup. Each form of Rotom depicts it possessing some kind of device. We have lawnmower, washing machine, freezer, fan, and an oven. I think that's what that is. They're all electric type paired with some other type relating to their device. It's pretty cool. I'm going to start things off with an electric ground type Rotom that is based on a jackhammer. Now there is a chance that these forms have been conceptualized by other fakemon artists out there, but as is usual whenever I have an idea that I feel has been done before, I have not done any searching so that my ideas can remain as original as possible. That being said, I am currently looking at a Club Penguin jackhammer as my reference. I just thought, you know, it's a cartoon jackhammer, does the job as a reference. It was surprisingly helpful as well. Rotom has some kind of electric energy thing that surrounds its entire body, and I thought it would be neat to use it to portray the needle of a jackhammer. I don't actually know if that's the anatomically correct term, so if there are any tradies in the comments, then please be sure to correct me if I'm wrong. Also, subscribe to my channel right now. That one goes out to the 80% who unsubscribed or whatever number it is these days. I know you exist. I'm trying to get to 100 million subscribers. I think I've got a real shot. I feel that the body design was looking a little bland, and granted, Rotom doesn't have a lot going on design-wise, but I think I could do better than just a plain red body with some lines. So I added in some screws, and now there's a fatter line that splits up the red. Since it is a ground type, I have used a dusty color for its electric energy. Not all of these forms exactly represent the typings they have, like Fan Rotom is not blue and Frost Rotom isn't blue / icy blue, I don't know. Anyways, I suppose I could have chosen a different color, but I stand by my choice here. I think it gets the message across. For my second Rotom form, we have a glorious piece of equipment that some people might start using soon, considering most of the world is entering the hotter months of the year. It's a fly swatter, an electric one to be exact. See, I don't have to worry about bugs at the moment because we're kind of entering the ice age where literally everything dies for 3 months. It's kind of brutal, not gonna lie. Also, sometimes it makes you feel like you're living in the apocalypse, like in Silent Hill or Pokemon Pokopia. The basic idea behind this form is to have its facial area, otherwise known as a face, resemble a bug. It's a pretty logical design choice considering the concept. Now, despite it being a bug zapper, it is actually going to be a bug type. I have my reasons though. By being a bug type, not only is it just a direct reference to the source material, but it also makes it vulnerable to fire type attacks, which would probably overload a bug zapper. Most of them are actually made with plastic, so they could also just melt. It also makes them weak to rock, which I don't think I need to explain why swatting a rock is not very good for a flimsy piece of electrically charged plastic and wire. I did it once and it did not end well, let me tell you that one for free. When I got near the end of my sketch, I sort of just felt something was off. Perhaps it was the handle? No, I changed it and it still seems wrong. Oh, I know, it's the pathetic little mite that looks like it skipped leg and arm day. It took me right till the very end to actually fix it up. I don't normally fix up sketches like this. I would just rather focus all of that time into doing it with the final render, but I wasn't sure how long it would be between sketching and rendering, so I made a quick reference right before I closed my drawing. By the way, I rendered the artwork like immediately after recording these sketches. I thought this was going to be next week's video, so I've been kind of preparing. I couldn't help it. I was listening to Amy Poehler's podcast and it's really entertaining. Kept me on my computer for a little longer. Alas, it now looks more like a generic bug, and also more like a bug zapper. I killed 2 moths with 1 zap. Sorry, the moths didn't deserve that. Finally, it is Lamp Rotom. When I started to draw this guy, I think it was looking a lot like a Pixar lamp. You know, like the one that brutally squashes the letter I. See, I know about pop culture, guys. I scrapped that idea and I went for a more classic lamp-shaded lamp instead. When I was initially sketching it, I had the idea that Rotom would actually be within the shade and that perhaps the eyes would be a shadow that was casted onto the lampshade. Kinda sick, right? But I don't know. It seemed to be very out there, and whilst the unique take on a Rotom form could very well have been appreciated, there's also an equal possibility that it would have looked way out of place and maybe more like a gimmick Rotom rather than one of these classic guys. To put it simply, I was a sim at work and this was one of my chance cards. I chose the safe route. Ironic, considering at the beginning of the year I expressed that I want to challenge myself more, which I guess in a way I am challenging that stance and going with the safe route. I'm getting off this tangent, it's going nowhere. The lamp is looking fabulous. I have it on this kind of stand thing, and there's also a little pulley thing that you would tug on in order to turn the lamp on and off. This is kind of going to be like Rotom's arm. When I was about 15, I had this really cool bedside lamp that turned on and off when you touched the base. I felt like I was living in the future. My cat broke it. Anyways, once I had the body drawn in, it was time for the face. Each Rotom form seems to have its own unique expression, which is something I've been mindful to carry out with my additional forms. This one is smiling, very curved. It's the opposite of the frowny one. I still feel like there was not much going on. I had a jackhammer situation, if you will. So to combat this, I decided I would make the lampshade the entire head. I already had the eyes drawn in, so it made sense. And in retrospect, I'm very glad that I came up with this idea and that I went down the safe route because it helped me see the design in a very different way and add some accent details that were very interesting to look at. I colored in my Tom, gave it the electricity stuff around it, which as you can see is fairly dim. Well, this Rotom is a unique one. It is a dark type that emits light. My idea for having a light-based creature be the dark type comes in the form of these justifications. Ahem, these are from my design notes, by the way. Bugs are drawn to the light, thus suffocating the lamp and making the light less bright. Fucking fire flames right there. Dark is weak to bug, so that makes sense. Also, this type matchup I didn't always know about, and I had to learn about it the hard way in a Nuzlocke. It's pretty unfortunate. Fairy tales are told during bedtime, and after the fairy tale has been told, it's lights out. Since fairy is strong against dark, again, I felt this just made sense. Dark is also strong against ghost types, and if your house is haunted, everyone knows the first thing ghosts mess with are candles and lights. I reckon they just want to turn them off because the light annoys them, hence this dark type Rotom being strong against a ghost. Now I hope I've convinced you that we don't need to invent the light type so that this Pokemon can exist, just like how normal works perfectly fine as a de facto sound type. If sound was going to be made, I kind of feel like Whismur would have pioneered it back in Gen 3, but you know, if they make sound or light type in the future, then you have full permission to return to this video and clown on me in the comments, so make sure you give it a like so that it stays in your liked videos playlist for future reference. I'm so good at this YouTuber thing. Anyways, I've rambled on enough. This Rotom is looking dandy to me, so let's take a look at the final artwork of these brand new Rotom forms. Firstly, it is Rotom the Jackhammer, an electric ground type. This Rotom has possessed a jackhammer. It takes pride in breaking down rocks and debris, whether its efforts are helpful or not. This jackhammer would be completely useless if Rotom didn't inhabit it. It has split-second reflexes which help it retract its drill in times of danger. Nextly, it is Rotom the Zapper, which makes it an electric bug type. The only one of Rotom's forms that have only occurred in the wild. It is still unknown which exact device it possesses. Rotom has apparently inhabited a bug zapper. It gleefully scares others by illuminating itself while lurking in the shadows. That wouldn't be very nice on your walk home. And finally, Rotom the Lamp. Curiously, this turns it into an electric dark type. A Rotom that has inhabited a table lamp. It warns others by swashing its arm back and forth, generating a low buzzing sound. It can illuminate the darkest spaces in this form. Bug-type Pokemon are drawn to this light and can dim it out. So, what do you think of my Rotom forms? I hope you like them. Be sure to leave me a comment below with all of your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single Fakemon Friday or Saturday if you live in Mirage Island, just like me. And an electrifying shout out to all of our channel members. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Are you all secretly a Rotom because you've possessed my heart? Actually, no, don't worry. Scratch that. It kind of comes across much creepier than initially intended, so yeah, sorry. Anyways, I have to go for a run now, otherwise my Rotom watch will electrocute me.